What we gonna do right here is go back. Way back. Back into time.
Hi everybody, this is Krystal with This Week in Geek on Nerd-O-Rama Network. I'm here in downtown Clearwater with Mike, the owner of Vector Arcade Bar. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me. Thanks for coming by. Yeah, we're an arcade bar located down here in downtown Clearwater and the whole revitalized downtown area. We've got 10 pinball machines. We've got 14 arcade machines. We've got classic consoles. We got board games. And we've got over 50 different craft beers from all over the state and all over the country.
How did you get started with pinball?
I collected my first pinball machine about 15 years ago. It was a Last Action Hero, and it was kind of broken. I fixed it up. I sold it, made a profit, used that to get a better pinball machine, and kept trading up, and just became a really good hobby.
Would you say it's like a really niche industry?
Oh, it's super niche. It's actually coming back a lot. People are into retro pinballs, things again, but not a lot of people know how to fix them. So that was where I came in. I could get these broken ones and get them up and running again and then get them back out in the field.
What brought you to Clearwater?
I've been living in this area for a long time, and I've been collecting pinball machines for about 15 years. And we just recently moved to downtown Clearwater, and the whole area has been completely revitalized. I haven't been here in over a decade. And we found it was like a perfect opportunity to start our own kind of arcade place here because it was a void that needed to be filled.
What inspired you to open a place? I know you said to fill a void, but was it an idea you had talking to a friend? Or?
Well, it was. We used to have some pinball machines at some bars in St. Petersburg, and it was a lot of fun. We'd have monthly tournaments, and it's a good meeting spot for people who are like-minded and drinking beer. So when we moved away and those bars in St. Pete closed, we were like, well, why not start one ourselves? So my wife and I went in, we got this, and started collecting games again and to fill the place out.
What do you think is your most popular game you have?
Right now, probably Fishtails because it's the newest, because everyone always wants to play the newest game, but Star Wars is a huge one, of course.
How many pinball machines do you have?
So we've got 10 pinball machines. They span all the way from 1980 to 2018. And then we've got another 14 arcade games.
Okay, and they all work because you work on them.
Yeah, I do all the repairs. I always make sure that all the games are working top notch. That's one problem is when you play pinball machines out at other places, they're going to fall in disrepair because they don't have the keys for them even to fix them. So you have to wait for somebody to come out and fix it. So every day I'll be working on it and make sure they're playing top notch.
So does that mean that you play each one at least once a day? Or?
I try to play them. I got to put in a test. I got to make sure they're good. Got to make sure not all the high scores are taken over by one person, but yeah. I also have to taste test the beer too to make sure it's not bad.
Right.
So
Quality control.
Right.
Quality control. So do you have any events, or is it just?
Yeah, we try to do a lot of different events that cater to all different crowd. We on Monday nights we do the first Church of Nintendo. And we set up CRT TVs all over the place. We'll have Nintendo 64, Super Nintendos, and then literally a table with hundreds of cartridges where you can just grab it and plug it in whatever station you want and play some 90s video games. And then on Wednesdays, we do an open mic on the back patio, and that's in combination with Pinball League. We always put a game on free play every Wednesday so people can come practice that game so they can get ready for the monthly tournament that we do the last Wednesday of each month. And then other nights we do we'll have DJs some Saturday nights out back. We do pro wrestling events where we'll pack out the back and have a wrestling ring.
Okay.
Yeah, we just had a steel cage match a couple weeks ago. And then we do other things. We're talking about building a stage out back, doing some Battle of the Bands kind of things, things like that.
So you were saying you had arcade games, but I also noticed you have a computer with some vintage.
Yeah, not only arcade games, we have old classic consoles, and we also have an old computer that runs all the old games like Oregon Trail and Where in the World's Carmen Sandiego, Doom. And then we also have board games too, so you can fit your childhood all in all areas and then have a craft beer while you're doing it.
Where do you get, are your beers local? Or?
Yeah, we do. I have 3 different beer distributors. We have over 50 craft beers. The majority of them are Florida, but we do have a lot of good meads and ciders from the Midwest, like Michigan, and we get stuff from all around. But I do try to have a huge selection of locals.
Right. And obviously you're dog friendly.
Yeah, we're dog friendly.
Dogs in the shop,
You might see my dog here if you come in. We're totally dog friendly. We have you can smoke in the front and back patios. Yeah.
How long have you been here in downtown Clearwater?
We're celebrating our 1-year party on this Saturday, June 8th. So it's been a great first year. You know, it's like a new downtown. They've got a whole bunch of new bars and restaurants, so it's a good addition to have something else to do downtown Clearwater.
What have you noticed about like the type of people that come in here? Is it mostly like, you know, hardcore nerds or?
No, we get a huge variety. We get some of the guys that are super nerd in certain types of games, like shoot 'em up games or like fighting games. We get people that are just into pinball alone. But we also get a lot of like younger crowd who are now the retro and getting into the cool like hip stuff back in the day, and they want to come play these games. And then we also get a lot of like adults who played pinball machines when they were kids, and you don't see them anywhere anymore. So they get to like relive their youth.
So if someone wanted to get their own pinball machine, what does that even look like?
Well, I've got a good friend of mine, Marshall. He works at Little Shop of Games in Wesley Chapel, and he's a pinball distributor. And he sells used pinballs, brand new pinball machines. You can work out a deal trading old ones in, and so he can get you hooked up with pretty much any game you want.
Cool. So if anyone wants to come down to Vector Arcade in Clearwater, get all the pinball.
Get all the pinball know-how. I'll run you through all the games. We do the tournaments. You could try a game out before you want to buy it and see if you like it.
From the pinball expert, or no, pinball wizard.
Pinball wizard's the correct pinball terminology, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for chatting with us today.
Yeah, thanks for coming by.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to?
No, just come down to Vector. We're at 629 Cleveland. Our website's vectorarcadeclearwater.com, and you can find us on Instagram and Facebook. It's Vector Arcade Clearwater.
Thank you for joining us for This Week in Geek on Nerd-O-Rama Network. See you next time.